Topic 3. Favorite people in games media.
Colin Moriarty.
Moriarty.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. I've
Well,
heard some good things.
Sometimes you stutter my name. I was watching Kind of Funny Live the other day.
Yeah.
Just the certain part, and you like announced me during the press conference. You just totally didn't say my name right. And I'm like, how long have we known each other? But then I was thinking, like, you say it right probably 99% of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for calling me a moron. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Moriarty. Yeah. Colin's a good dude. So here's the thing. The reason I bring up this topic is there's been a lot of hate recently. A lot of people upset about stuff because of the internet, and that's how things work.
internet works, yeah.
But I don't like that because I feel like there's a lot of good on the internet. We should talk about that more. We've always talked about this. We have a good community. We have people that enjoy positivity and all that stuff.
Indeed.
But I feel like there's a lot of other people out there that maybe don't get enough love. Maybe some of them do get enough love, but I want to give them a little bit more love.
Okay.
Because when it comes down to it, we are public figures in the video game space. You guys are the coolest dudes in video games.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
You've heard about that. So that means there's a lot of people that kind of look to you guys for your opinions and all that stuff, right? But at the same time, we look to other people for their opinions because we're fans of games just like everyone else is. So we read articles on these different websites. We watch YouTube videos. We watch all this the content that people make. Who are some of your favorites that you go to?
Justin McElroy.
From
like
where?
him on Polygon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you want? His whole bio?
Yeah.
West Virginia as well. Has a baby, I believe, now.
Okay.
These kids, they all started having
Yeah.
babies. It's impossible to keep up with. Lovely on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy Twitter interactions or what. He's very good at the Twitter interaction. Twitter. Here's what I think of this game in a nutshell. He's one of the first people I believe that turned me on to Gone Home back in the day. When the Batman review embargo lifted, he was on there answering people's questions to the best of his abilities without any spoilers and stuff. I was really appreciative of that. Again, not ruining them, but there. Ray, former achievement hunter over on Twitch. I like everything he's doing is super fascinating now. Jeff Gersman. Giant Bomb, of course. San Francisco here. A Bay Area person. I'm sorry, I'll give you more of these bios. No kids, I believe.
Oh, no kids. Okay.
No kids.
You believe?
I believe.
I believe he believes that
Him
too.
and Brad Shoemaker look. There might be something going on there.
Yeah.
A little father-son
You think
stuff.
Brad is his kid?
Yeah, from the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Those are people I jump to when you say, like, who do I respect? Who do I think about on that level? Who do I want to hear about when, hear from, I guess, when games come out? That's my list.
What are you calling?
I think that in terms of raw writing ability, I think actually Vincent Gennito at IGN is one of the most underrated, if not the most significantly underrated writer in the entire industry. In terms of media, I think that as someone who edited a lot of his work, I wouldn't walk around and openly admit to people, I'm like, you're way better than I am. But he was one of the people, and he was like, I was many bars ahead of him on the chain, the chain of command at IGN. I'd be like, I wish that I could write like you. I write differently. I have my own voice, and I think I'm a good writer. But he has command of language and says things in his reviews and criticism that I was like, I wish I thought to say something like this. So I think that in terms of just underrated people that I don't think get enough credit, I think he's one of those people. But he's always in the trenches, like you just don't see him. And so I think that's part of the reason why he's kind of under the radar for a lot of people. From there, I'd go to the old standbys. I think Jason Schreier and Patrick Klepek at Kotaku are probably the best journalists in the industry. They're real journalists and they break real stories, and I respect what they do. They also have opinions, which I think is good. But Jason, especially, I don't know, understand. I really do feel like Schreier breaks like 75% of the news in the industry of like any consequence that doesn't come straight from a publisher or a press release. Matt Leone is a guy at Polygon now who I've never spoken a word to in my entire life and have never met, but is one of the only other people, really the only other person at a big outlet other than me that wrote long-form articles, and I liked a lot of what he was doing. He was given a lot of room to do that kind of stuff, and I think that that's great. Even though it doesn't probably pay the bills, it's cool to have what they call prestige pieces for your website like that, which is what I think History of Naughty Dog, when I wrote that, and History of Insomniac and all that kind of stuff were for me. So I kind of go in that direction, and then I want to give my final shout out. And this was the most recent edition. And this only happened in the last 6 months or so. I just didn't read GameSpot that much or look at the site. I just wasn't really interested in it, and until this year when I started kind of just reading more and getting around. And what I realized was that GameSpot had their very own Greg and Colin that I didn't know about, Danny and Chris, Danny O'Dwyer and Chris Waters. They're really great. And Danny O'Dwyer especially is like very impressive to me. I think he's he's got a solid foundation of facts and a basis for knowing games, and he's a gamer and he plays games. But I'm impressed with the way he is on camera. I'm impressed with his verbiage. I'm impressed with his ability to get in and out of segments and kind of lead the conversation and direct the conversation. So I want to give a shout out to those two because